A week with no blood of my blood, but that doesn't mean we don't have any new info about what's gonna happen in the season finale. Stars had released a preview last week and I did a breakdown of that, but there's also a new one I saw on Outlander's Facebook account and it shows new scenes like Ellen on her wedding day. I will also go into a more detailed look at some of the things we had from last week, some Easter eggs, and confirmation about something that we had all guessed, Ellen and Brian running away together. Let's discuss it all. First, we should go over some of the details of the episode 10 preview, and then I'm gonna show you the new stuff from the new trailer. Well, the episode 10 preview starts with scenes of Julia and Henry in the future. I mean, right before they accidentally time travel. As a couple, they decide to go to Inverness as sort of an escape, so they buy train tickets. And there's this incredible little Easter egg on the train tickets that I hadn't noticed last week, but when I looked at them again, I couldn't believe it. If you look closely on both of the train tickets, the ticket numbers literally say 1714, which is, as you know, the year they end up traveling to. I love that they included this little detail. It's such a magical touch. I love it. Another thing we should talk about regarding the Julia and Henry scenes in the trailer is that for the first time, we will see Claire and Uncle Lamb together when she was 5. I know we've seen and loved the grown up version of her in Outlander, but seeing her as a child excites me so much. And we couldn't get much info on Uncle Lamb, so I'm also curious to see what kind of person he is. If you didn't know, episode 9 and episode 10 are both written by Diana Gabaldon, so the dialogue scenes will be especially important and I know emotional as well. As we discussed last week, there are also a few men following Brian. Now, in the comment section of that video, we had a few different opinions about who could have sent these men to kill Brian. My theory was that it was Colum because when he promised Ellen that he wouldn't touch or order anyone to kill Brian, he added something like from this point onwards or from now onwards. That was such a sneaky little line, so I feel like he had already ordered these men to kill Brian, which is why he could easily promise that he wouldn't later on. But some of you guys were saying it could be Simon Fraser after that horrible scene in episode 9, although I don't think Simon or anyone at that time would kill their own son. There was one other theory saying that it could be Uncle Grant, who might have learned about Ellen's love for Brian, but we have no evidence of that. It could be Dougal, since he already knew that his sister was in love with Brian, but I feel like Dougal would have handled things himself since he's this warrior character. I can't really imagine him ordering someone else to kill Brian, but it is among the possibilities. Anyway, in this trailer, we see Myrta and Brian finally making up because Myrta believes that the kind of love Brian and Ellen have is very unique and he sees how much Brian loves Ellen. So he decides to make amends and help Brian fight these men so that Brian can go save Ellen on her wedding day to Malcolm Grant, who is pretty angry in a scene, by the way. I'm guessing this is where he learns that Ellen ran away, and his uncle is quite furious as well, saying things like, this will be paid in blood. So they may be having that conversation after Ellen manages to run away with Brian. As for the scenes between Henry and Julia, who, if you remember, agreed on a meeting point in front of Castle Leathers, where Julia would run away with little William. The trailer shows both Simon Fraser and his man Bullock going after Julia. This probably happens because of the brothel worker, who I think either fell in love with Henry or has become attached to him in a sick way. She was there when Henry and Julia were talking about a meeting point, so I think there is a huge possibility that she will be the one to warn Simon Fraser or his men about the fact that Julia and Henry will try to escape. We see that Henry has arrived at the meeting point. Julia is there with William, but Julia also shouts, "Help me." I'm guessing it's some sort of trap, but it's not possible to say what will happen. Because even if they manage to leave everyone behind and escape and go to the stones for time travel, we don't know if they know that they need the little gemstones or jewels to do it. Like, will they have anything on them that will allow them to time travel? Some fans have been theorizing that they will be able to time travel at the end of episode 10 and will travel to season 8 of Outlander, which is too far fetched in my opinion. I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, I would love for Claire to meet her parents, but this way wouldn't make sense. We should also look at the trailer released by Outlander's Facebook account. It actually shows Ellen in her wedding attire with her veil fully covering her face, which is very suspicious. Don't you think? Could this be a false bride? Like, could it be someone like Mrs. Fitz hiding behind that veil in order to acquire more time so that no one gets suspicious while Ellen is trying to run away with Brian? Because I don't know how the hell Brian will get Ellen out of there once she's already standing with Malcolm in front of a priest or whoever to get married. Do you think a false bride scene will happen? Let me know in the comments. The trailer also has a few more lines in the conversation between Brian and Myrta as they discuss what to do about the Ellen situation. It is obvious that Brian will stop the wedding before it happens, or he will steal the bride before she's promised to Malcolm Grant. Episode 10 is called Something Borrowed. I may be wrong about this, but as far as I know, the Something Borrowed, Something Blue tradition dates back to the 19th century, so I'm not sure if that was something that existed around this time. So I feel like the title refers to The Borrowing of the Bride by Brian. And like I teased at the beginning of this video, we do know that Brian and Ellen will run away, because if you have checked the Blood of My Blood Season 1 soundtrack, the penultimate song on there is called The Bothy. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but a bothy is a sort of shelter usually left unlocked for anyone to use free of charge, and they are especially found in remote mountainous areas of Scotland. So it's a small building for people to take shelter in. Since there's this 7-minute long track with that word in it, that should mean that Brian and Ellen are running away and they are taking shelter in an abandoned building or whatever. What do you think about this? Do let me know in the comments. Don't forget to share your theories with me below, and if you want to watch something about Outlander Season 8, check out this video.